Just mix all of those beautiful ingredients together, and that will give us a lovely spicy citrusy marinade here. Now with the chicken, you'll see that I've taken the skin off it. This is important. We're looking for the marinade to work its way into the flesh, and it won't do that so well if you've still got the skin on. So we've taken the skin off, and you'll also see that I've made 2 really deep incisions into the thigh. This is to help the marinade. It will give it more surface area to cling to, and so it will actually get into the meat much quicker. And also when we're cooking, you can cook at a higher temperature because the heat will permeate quicker, and we are looking to create that almost black crusty exterior using a high heat. So just take your chicken and pop it into your marinade and give that a really good mix now. And you want to make sure that that marinade gets right the way through all of that chicken. There we go, all nicely mixed through. Now cover and refrigerate 2 to 3 hours at least if you can. Overnight, even better. Tarka Dhal. The Dahl just means lentils, and the Tarka is a fried onion and spice mix which goes into the lentils at the end of cooking to give it extra flavor. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. It's one of my favorite ways to eat lentils. What we've got here is 200 grams of red lentils, a medium onion which has been sliced, our Station House garam masala mix, a couple of teaspoons of turmeric, some nice salt, chili powder to taste, it's up to you how hot you want it, and then some of our minced garlic. My first job is just to give the lentils a bit of a wash. So into a jug. And just give them a bit of a rinse, just using your fingers there. And you'll see a little bit of starchy liquid coming out. And then drain and repeat. And that process will get the starch out, and the water, every time you drain and repeat, will just be a little bit clearer than the first time. So you can see how much clearer that water is now. So we can drain one last time and then get them into the pan with 1.5 liters of cold fresh water. Just stir all of those lovely spices together, and we're going to bring that up to a simmer, cover it and just let it cook on for about 30 minutes or so. As that's happening, we're going to get the heat on our frying pan in with a good glug of oil and our sliced onions. Our onions have been cooking down for a good half an hour, and you can see that they've gone a beautiful dark brown color. They've really reduced down. The sugars have come out of the onions and caramelized, and that is where you're going to get your extra depth of flavor. Think burger van onions. You know, the way they've been cooking for a couple of days and they just reduce down and go caramelly and beautiful. That's what you're looking for. Rice cookery. You will read and hear and watch so many different techniques for cooking rice, it's not true. I'm going to give you the one that works for us at the cookery school and which generally gives our students really good results. Nice cold water into the jug. Agitate and watch all of that starch come out. Starch, which is in rice, when you add liquid to it and agitate it or stir it, that starch will come out into the liquid, and then that will turn that liquid thick or sticky, which is great if you're cooking risotto or a pudding rice, you're doing a creamy rice pudding. Not so good for basmati, it's not what we want. So before we cook the rice, the first thing we've got to do is get as much of that starch out of the rice as possible. Drain it one more time. Some fresh water, and I'm gonna leave it to sit soaking for about 20 minutes if you can. The reason for that is we want the rice to absorb some water, so when we come to cook it, it's less likely to burst open, and that means that you'll end up with a drier rice. Let's have a quick check on our lentils now. They're smelling fantastic. And they're reducing down, they're starting to thicken up a little bit, going slightly soupy. The beauty of these lentils is that when they're cooked, they'll sit quite happily. You can switch them off and leave them until you're ready to serve and bring all the elements of your meal together. Chicken out of the fridge. It's looking absolutely beautiful. It's been in that marinade for hours. All of those flavors have worked their way into the chicken. It's gonna be spectacular. I'm gonna put those chicken pieces onto a tray with a little bit of tin foil over the top to protect it, and we're gonna get it in the oven. Space them out nicely so the heat has room to get around them, and don't be afraid to get lots of that lovely marinade on top of the chicken. And all of those little knobbly bits of ginger and onion, with the high heat, they're going to go really dark, really umami rich, and all of the flavor of those spices is going to knock your socks off. It's absolutely beautiful. Into the oven. The onions have really reduced down now for our tarka, and at this stage I'm just going to add in our freshly minced garlic and allow that to very gently cook on for another few minutes. You don't want to burn your garlic. So that's now going straight from the pan into the lentils. Fresh coriander. Very, very important, people. Taste your food for seasoning before you serve. So I'm going to have a little bit of a taste. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Beautiful depth of flavor. Really, really spicy. Earthy lentils, slightly sweet with the onion that we've taken our time to fry off. And a really nice garlicky hit coming through as well. I'm really happy with that. The rice has been soaking about half an hour, and I'm going to drain that now, and that goes straight into a saucepan. If you stir the rice, you will agitate the starch, and that will make it go sticky and lumpy. We don't want that. Take a little bit from the top. It's still quite firm, what we call al dente. The water has all evaporated, and that means that I can just leave it now. And if you can see all of that steam coming off the top, That's moisture leaving your rice, which will leave you a drier, fluffier, non-stick rice. That's one of the keys to it. Let it sit now for about 5 to 10 minutes if you can. It'll stay hot, but all of that steam coming off is moisture leaving the rice. That's a good thing. Time to get our chicken from the oven. Oh, I can't tell you how good that looks. And the smell is just incredible. So our chicken's out of the oven, our rice is done and looking beautiful, our Tarka Dhal is done. Time to plate up. The chicken is spicy, it's warm with chili, really fresh with citrus. The lemon comes through, all of those beautiful spices. And then you've got that beautiful charring from the high heat of the oven. That brings your umami rich quality to it. So I really hope you give this a go at home. And don't forget, of course, that this is one of the packs that you can buy online. So we'll send through the post to you all of the spices and the dry ingredients that you need, along with your recipes, your fact sheets, and of course you get this video as well. So why don't you give it a go? See you at Station House soon. Bye-bye now.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit that little bell to turn on notifications.